have here is a panel door that was that's the separation between the kitchen and what's called a butler's room or butler's pantry. It's actually behind the kitchen. And at some point in the early 70s, the homeowners with their family, as the kids got older, they wanted to make a spare bedroom for one of the sons in the back of the house. So anyway, it's a big old oak door. There's 15 panels in it, and it was originally glass, of course. And so at some point he decided he was going to butternut the entire house, which is pretty much just the original finish in shellac, stripped down, and he went through all that work to do the whole house to date it to 1970. So fantastic. So here I am going back to 1927, or doing my best. But so you want to get that blade in there. A putty knife would probably be a little bit soft. 1-inch scraper would probably be a little more durable. I had a 5-in-1 tool. It worked all the same. And that butternut stuff really kind of sealed it in there. So that's what you hear, that crackling sound when I'm bending it. It's not really the wood cracking. It's whatever that junk finish he put on sort of sealed that wood in there. I mean, he didn't even wipe it. It just pretty much brushed on. So it's, obviously, even though it's oak, you kind of want to be careful with these pieces, especially the first one. You see how as it's going to be coming out, it's not really going to be moving from left to right, but rather, coming outward. At least the first one. That's that first important one. It's just the way it's beveled. But I'm getting these out because, when I finish this, I don't want to destroy the contour of the outside, which is pretty much flush with the rest of the door frame. And so I just kind of tap a little bit here and there, and tap right there. There's a little nail on the center of each vertical piece, and then once that's loosened up, just pop it out, and that's that. As I get to the middle and lower portion of the door, I'll just flip it upside down, because who wants to really work lower when you can work at eye level? So this is a carbide blade. It's it takes a standard 2.5-inch carbide scraper blade. The handles, I like the hide. It's got kind of a rubber handle on it. It's a little bit easier on your hands as you're working over the hours. But replacement blade is double-sided. Those can go for around $13 at a paint store in the area. Sometimes Home Depot has it. Paulson's always has them. That's in Forest Park on Madison. But if you're resourceful, you could probably get them for a little bit less. But they last a lot longer than regular blades, and that's why I love to use. Nothing beats a good sharp blade. It just makes the job easier, prevents gouging. Here I'm just kind of cleaning up the inside, even though it's not going to be visible to the eye once new glass and the stops are put back in place. You just kind of want to clean it up so it sets in nice, and I'll probably go over it with some sandpaper later on. So this is a 7/8 version, or I'm sorry, 1-inch version of that same material, that carbide steel, and it's a triangle. So you have 3 sides to it, which is kind of nice. So in a sense, you see those wood shavings coming off. It's almost like I'm sort of planing it, and taking a little bit of the wood off too. But this is not a substitution for sanding. Obviously, you want to get it down on horses, horizontal, and go to town with a probably a machine 1/4-inch palm sander, 1/4-inch sheet. So it's a good piece of wood. Sometimes you'll have a pine door, and those stops. The stops are the little pieces that are holding the panels in place. But the pine can often be really, really, really weak. It's a soft wood, and even though these are fragile as they are, the pine ones are even more precarious when you're trying to pry those out. But here it kind of takes 2 tools to get it out. The first piece is always the hardest, so So I'll get the camera off the tripod now, and you have to forgive me. I am not a videographer. I don't have much focus with this DSLR still camera, which has obviously amazing video qualities to it, but it's just really hard to see what's in focus sometimes when you move it a few inches in each direction, but whatever. So you'll get the idea. There's some pretty good sharp close-ups here. And you can see beautiful, beautiful oak. Not clean, not 100%, but that's fine. Just getting these stops off, you'll prevent you damaging them as you go to sand the entire door. But so yeah, it's gonna look real pretty when that's all cleaned up and perfect.